Hi everyone, this is Patti Andrasak from Inner Peace Reiki coming to you with Brandy Montague from For Animals for Earth for another Coast to Coast Reiki chat. I'm in New York. Brandy's usually in LA, although tonight you're in Florida, right? And we have a guest tonight that I'm really excited to introduce all of you to. She's a very good friend of mine, Nicole Miele, and she's from Rock and Soul Wellness in New York also. And she's a certified Usui Reiki teacher and practitioner. And I met her several years ago. She was one of my first students in my classes that I taught and did level 1, 2, 3, and all the way up to the master program with me. And then her and I together took Kathleen Prasad's level 3 animal Reiki training, the Shimpadin and animal Reiki training together. So we've become fast friends and Reiki sisters, and it's really been a joy to watch her practice evolve. And I'm going to let her take it away now so she could give us more of her background. And if I left anything out, just fill us in on that.
Sure. Hi.
Hi.
I'm in Albany, New York, in fact. And so I also am a sound healer. And I do some creative arts. So I incorporate Reiki into both of those modalities. And I do that for humans and for animals. So what else would you like to know?
Well, I'd love for you to start off, give us a little bit of background of what got you interested in music, first of all, and then how it's evolved into Reiki practice. I think
Absolutely. So music has always been in my life since I can remember. When I was 8, my parents got me a guitar. Then they got me some lessons. And I was about 13 when I wrote my first song. And then I started playing in coffee houses when I was a teenager, an angsty teenager. And I also went to school for music technology, with guitar being my instrument of choice. I then had to find a real job and kind of lost its, I guess, its path with me for a little bit. Kind of went a little wayside. So, and then all of a sudden I found myself selling eyeglasses, which is where I met Patti. And then and then I took Reiki, and when I took the Reiki class from there, it was like that instant moment of knowing that this is supposed to be part of my life. And so yes, I took classes with Patti, 1, 2, in the class, and then we went to a Reiki retreat. And it was at the Reiki retreat where I realized that music and healing go together. And we experienced a drum bath, and that was amazing. And it was instant, right? We were like, "Oh my God!" We bought drums. We were ready. Right? I went back home. I think back to you were very much on the path of where I'm at, but we went to Woodstock, the Tibetan sound bowl, and brought it home. And then the next thing I know, I'm on to take sound healing classes, and now I have crystal bowls, Tibetan bowls, gongs, drums, anything that just has a beautiful, soothing sound to it. So that was really how I kind of got back on the path of music. I found a different avenue. I still play guitar. I went back to it. I'm in a duo called Unbounded. We do kirtan music, devotional chanting, and we also write some of our own songs. So it's been it's been a great journey. I'm happy, where Reiki has brought me. So, thank you.
Yeah.
It's really neat, Nicole, to hear just hear this history. You know, I have an 8-year-old daughter who's just getting into music, and you know, I feel like it's introducing a whole new realm to my life because I've always loved music, but I never really understood how moving. I don't know, you know, it just really can kind of change your life. And, you know, the idea of blending Reiki and sound healing and, you know, the idea of sound baths and things that kind of really move you just is it's so interesting to me, you know, and I'm curious, how do you blend the two together? Like, do you use sound healing in your sessions? And how does that kind of work together?
When I first started Reiki sessions, I would create playlists, and I would spend hours creating the perfect, you know, half hour, 45-minute hour playlist. And it would put me in that space, and I knew it was putting the client in the space too. And then when I started incorporating live sound into the sessions, it's very easy. You know, I incorporate it with placing cymbals into the instruments before playing them, so that, you know, helps with that part. And I like to I call them sound energy sessions, so I am able to incorporate both, where putting a client into that meditative space, and then helping clear out whatever needs to be cleared out. And they definitely go into a deeper state with the music, with the live sound, especially the drumming. Everybody always comments on the drumming. It's just, you know, that it's like going on a journey.
Yeah.
For them.
I can imagine that it's really powerful. And so you play the instruments live during the sessions?
Yes.
Wow. Super
Yep.
cool. That's really
cool.
I just tuning forks too. Those are pretty cool.
Yeah, sure. Right. Placing them on the physical body, also the tuning forks with the vibrations, you know, certain points on your body. It's pretty amazing. During when I do a lot of sound baths with groups of people, and I mean, the experiences that they have is not anything that I would ever expect. So it's always nice when they give me a little bit of feedback of, you know, someone that has arthritis, when they come in and they're in a lot of pain, and at the end of, you know, this 45-minute, hour-long meditation, they don't feel that pain anymore. Or people that are able to connect to loved ones that have passed through music. You know, it's a beautiful thing that occurs. So it's always nice to hear, you know, where it takes people.
That's the thing with the drumming too. I think, you know, there's something about that primal sound. That's really the first sound that we hear. If you think about it, it's kind of like the drumming. And I think it just can take you back to the beginning, wherever that is. And
right.
Peace, find that inner peace, right? Not to, you know.
Absolutely.
Lack of a better word, but you do. It just brings you back to the womb. I'm just curious, because you had told me that sometimes you incorporate the sound healing with animals as well. And
so, yeah, go ahead.
How does it work? How do they respond?
I would have thought that the frequencies would be too much, right? Especially with the dogs, you think about, you know, they're sensitive, like the sensitive hearing, right? All animals really, but my one dog, Duff, he's a little bit anxious, and when he gets to when he gets really anxious, I will take out Tibetan bowl and I'll just start playing it, and he just completely calm. And actually earlier today, we were practicing, my band was practicing, and both dogs just chilled out. They were just completely quiet. It's pretty amazing. He kind of sits up, and then all of a sudden his eyes just start closing, but he's just completely like, sitting. It's super adorable. I wish I could get a good picture of it. But yeah, no, they really do respond. And, Patti, when we were at our training, there were a group of us. I had just gotten the Tibetan bowls, and so I had them in my car, and I was talking about them, and a couple of the ladies came into my car. There were 4 of us in the car playing the bowls, and we were right in front of a chicken coop, and all the chickens were, going kind of crazy. We started playing, and again, it was just this instant, like, they really do respond to it in a positive way. It's pretty cool.
It is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, gosh. That, I'm interested to hear, because you're a musician, so obviously you had background in music before you learned to play the Tibetan bowls. But, it's funny, you have a dog who suffers quite a bit from anxiety. He's 12 now. We've had him since he was about 7 months old. We were his 4th home in those 7 months. And so it's just kind of the separation anxiety's just always been there. And I feel like I've tried everything. And it's funny, I've never heard, Tibetan bowls before. It's a new idea. Did you? What did it take to learn this? I mean, you're obviously a musician. Is it a
Right.
involved thing to learn these different instruments that you've picked up?
I feel as though to maybe do it well, you should do a little bit of training, but it's, you could pick them up. Try one. I would say try one, or even, use your phone with, whatever device, whatever app you use for some music, but you could pull some Tibetan bowl music up and see if there's a reaction. He will react to even just, something on Spotify or what have you. So, yeah. But yeah, I mean, there should be some just to understand the basics of music and frequencies, and what tones are going along with what you're playing, and kind of the natural flow of things, right? Bringing you don't want the Tibetan bowl on, like, your head and you're banging it.
Well, you'd have to know your animal, because like my dog is,
yeah.
Sorry, there's a little feedback there. My dog is okay with the bowls, but yet I can't do drumming with her in the room. She loses her mind when it's drumming. So I think
Wow.
do
Yeah.
what they're sensitive to or whatever.
Yeah, right. Test it out, see what they enjoy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's similar to humans. Not everybody really enjoys the crystal bowls, some people find the tones just too much for them to listen to.
Okay.
I like to tell them that they're healing, but that's can't convince everybody.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't mean to overtalk you. I'm hearing like a little echo feedback. If that happens, I apologize. But is there one tone on those bowls that, if you had to pick one? I notice they all have different notes, or there's like a heart bowl and a right tabletop bowl. Is there one note that most people like with those bowls?
I think everybody's different. Just, whatever resonates with you. And that can change.
Nicole, you're doing a session. How do you decide what to play in the session? Do you do it kind of impromptu?
Yeah, pretty much. It's kind of, the music moves me, right? Whatever happens. I mean, there's the formula, right? The formula of, I'll bring in shakers or an ocean drum, so just very subtle to start off with, and then from there continue on to maybe some drumming, Tibetan bowls. Sometimes placing the Tibetan bowls on the body, just depends. bombs, and then bringing them back with something a little bit softer, maybe bringing them back with another shaker, or can't remember what they're called, those medicine balls, like the little chimes. Yeah. But the
to me.
yeah, but you know, the beats or the beats of the drum always change, and that's the part that fascinates me. You know, starting off slow, but it feels as though everybody has their own energy that they're bringing in, and then, you know, that transmits through my playing. So that's what I pick up on.
Yeah. That's interesting. So it's not like you play the same beat or tone for each session. It's whatever feels, the energy that you're feeling. For live sessions, that's how it kind of happens. That's so cool. And did you want to share with us too what types of animals you've worked with in the animal end of the practice? Or
I really work with with dogs and cats. So, but mainly dogs.
Mainly dogs.
Yeah, it is. I mean, we've worked we went to the farm together. So, you know, horses, that I would love to work a little bit more with them. Such beautiful energy. You know, what else we did? There were so many animals, ducks and
turkey, surprise.
Turkey. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, in my practice, dogs and cats.
Yeah. You know, something that Patti and I talk about often is how we call what we do animal Reiki. And, you know, we've all been trained in the let animals lead method of it, which I think has kind of brought at least the three of us, I'm sure, to a place of believing when you bring together more than one person or an animal into the mix, when you bring, I guess, beings together or souls together, something happens that is, you know, beyond us. And I can imagine that, you know, we live kind of on this plane typically that is very kind of like seeing and hearing and touching, you know, but we really imagine kind of like bringing in this vibrational energy that is amplifying what's happening with the group that's there together. I can just only imagine how transformational it is. It's just, I don't know. That's why I say it fascinates me just hearing you talk about what you do. I can't imagine how transformative every single session you do must be for everyone involved. It's just really, yeah, it's really neat to hear. We have a couple of minutes left. I'm wondering if you can tell us a little bit more about where we would find you, you know, online, as well as just kind of in person. Where do you do your sessions? Where are you available at? Where can people find you, you know, to learn more?
Sure. So you can reach me on my website, rocksoulwellness.com. It's in the middle of being worked on right now, but it does have my information on there, so you can reach out to me there. You can email me, Nicole at rocksoulwellness.com. I'm also on Facebook and Instagram, but you would find me under Rock Soul Reiki there. And locally, I am in Albany, and I am going to be offering a lot of my meditations. My group meditations will be in the Albany, Clifton Park, and Amsterdam area. And I have one location that I will be doing my sessions on Albany, starting the first of the year, which I'm very excited about. It's at a place called Om. It's a yoga studio, and I'll be renting out a room that I'll be able to create some wonderful sound energy sessions. And part of my sessions is that you will be able to bring home the recording from the session so that you can meditate with it later. So
that's a great idea. I love that idea. And
thanks.
We'll post all your contact information too on this call.
Okay.
But
Wonderful.
I think we still have a couple more minutes. I just wanted you to, Brandy and I always talk about how Reiki has really transformed our lives in so many ways that we didn't even think it was going to.
Right.
I changed careers. I changed the way I eat. I changed the way I look at animals. Have you found that with your life as you've evolved in your practice?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I was a part owner of a eyeglass store, and it came time for me to go that place. It wasn't, the stress level for me was pretty high, and I wasn't able to find a good way to release it. And Reiki really, kind of brought me through all of that. And I feel like even in that business, everything was name brand, and almost like you're trying to keep up with the Joneses. So I think part of it is that learning that what I have is enough, and part of that is who I am is enough, right? Also, just dealing with stress is a lot easier. I would say probably going home a lot before, the go-to de-stressor was alcoholic beverage, and then another one, try to forget whatever happened throughout the day. But now it's more, thinking about things with a clearer mind, and just, when I react to things, kind of being able to sit back a little bit and see why I'm reacting. So it's kind of, it's been pretty transformed. I've transformed a lot since Reiki. Thanks, Patti. I'll blame it all on you.
I think when we started having those
No, I'm very grateful. I'm grateful for where I'm at. And yeah. Thank you.
I think that's when we started having those conversations when I would go into her eye care practice. And I'm like, I got something that would help me de-stress. It's more like that,
Yeah, it really was. You were like, I'm going to teach this class. Why don't you take it? And I was like, sure. And who knew that I would be here today doing what I do. So it's awesome.
Grateful for our friendship.
Absolutely.
You're following the same path.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's our cue.
Yeah.
This is really great. Thank you so much for coming on here and just coming from such a, an honest place and sharing everything with all of us.
Absolutely. Thank you both.
Thank you. It was so nice to meet you.
Yeah. Nice to meet you too.
See you again soon.
All right.
All right. Good night, ladies. All right.
Bye.